briefcase that Lewis was holding that had everyone's
the
pay stubs.
Yeah, they're checks.
They're checks.
Those are the checks, the weird looking checks that they have.
Yeah, these like giant ass.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I need you guys to sign these checks, and they're massive.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like it's literally a full page for a check, as opposed to like what a check looks like.
They looked like diplomas.
A little bit, yeah. It's like here you have graduated to money. It's very strange, but this is their thing. And then the first thing he noticed is we didn't actually mention that he notices that there's a check signed out to a Clarence Beeks.
Yep.
And he doesn't know who that is, so he's going to go ask the Dukes about him.
So this is after Billy gets stopped by the cops.
Yeah.
It starts with Billy and the cops
in
our scene that we started with, where they pick him up. His legs drop out. He can see. He can walk.
Praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus. Thank you, officer. Thank you, officer. And then, obviously, more cops show up. They're going to get him.
Yeah.
So this is where he runs into Lewis. Briefcase falls out of Lewis's hands into Billy's arms. And then Lewis, being,
being
white, rich, and in the 80s. He's trying to rob me!
And all Billy's saying is, here's your briefcase back.
Yeah. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just trying to give this guy his
briefcase back. He keeps yelling.
And then they chase him in, the club, run around the table, tackle him. Bunch of cops.
Yeah.
Pull their guns.
Because that's necessary.
That's necessary, right?
This movie gets very 80s, folks. Bear with us.
They pick him up. They arrest him. And this is where you find out that the Duke brothers have done bets.
Yes.
This whole nature versus nurture. Well, Lewis is so good because he was raised properly in a proper home. But no, so you're telling me if he was thrown out in the street, lost everything, he'd still be good with numbers and everything, or would he just revert to crime? He's like, no, I bet you he would.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they just met Billy, so it's like, so if we take that guy and put him where Lewis is, would he be successful?
Yeah. So that's the premise of what they do, because again, the rich assholes who have done everything, so this is how they entertain themselves.
So they first plant money. Clarence Beeks plants money.
Yes.
In Lewis's pocket. $150, I think.
Yeah. Which I'm like, wow, that seems like a lot of effort for $150 for you rich millionaires.
So they're at the club, this rich white guy club.
Yeah.
Everyone put each other's hand on the person next to your shoulder, go into their pocket, empty their pockets under the table. There's some money with a red X on it. That person stole money from the coat room.
Yeah.
Finds out it was Lewis. Lewis is like, oh, I would never.
I would never do such a thing.
And it's like, no, he wouldn't.
No.
Because why would he need $150?
Yeah, $150. Because they eventually, as we find out later on, they've planted drugs on him. So apparently, although it's weird because he's apparently a drug pusher. So apparently he's a drug dealer who needs money, which I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, because he gets to the station. I guess the money was to get him to the station.
Yeah.
And then when they would go through things further, they'd find PCP.
Yeah.
Which I do love that everyone keeps mistaking it as heroin. And he's like, no, it was PCP. But it still wasn't mine. Billy gets bailed out in the nick of time because he's one of those like, man, if those cops, I had them, I learned from Bruce Lee. Whatcha?
And then of course,
two big guys
basically start calling him on it, like motherfucker, what?
Lifting him up. He's like, man, I would do so much to you guys right here in cell number 9.
He's just yelling at hoping somebody helps him.
The cops. So this was his second movie ever, right?
Yeah.
You can see why he became a big, big star.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, actually. They did say, and again, I didn't write this down, so I'm just going with speeches. Apparently, Joe Dante. I keep fucking saying Joe Dante. John Landis had no idea who Eddie Murphy was because 48 Hours hadn't come out yet. So it was after they screened 48 Hours that they went, holy shit, like, this kid's going to be huge. Let's get him for this.
Not to put Dan Aykroyd down because
Well, we'll get to my praising of Dan Aykroyd later, but this might be one of his best roles. It is so fucking good.
So yeah, Lewis gets caught with Penelope, who is who's roped into the who's gonna be his wife, I guess. Eventually.
Yeah. She's his fiance.
Yeah,
and everything you would expect, just like the money grubbing, like just status whore. Only with
Mumsy.
him. Yeah, exactly. Only with
It's
him
Mumsy's
because of the
birthday or
money.
whatever.
Yeah.
So she bails him out. Doesn't go well because obviously he's roughed up. Like he's got black eyes. I guess they gave him clothes.
They gave him clothes because I don't know. I guess maybe his suit was evidence now because of the drugs, but I don't know if that's how that works.
I guess because I don't know. So they're switched. Billy Ray gets a new house. Gets his house, I guess, or Duke's house, whoever. And I do love how he just keeps going, so this is my house. Because when the Dukes bail him out, he doesn't believe it. He accuses him of being gay. Like, what is this? Goes to the driver, like, this is messed up, right? This isn't real. And the driver's like,
no, this is real, dude.
He didn't say anything. He just nods. Yeses and no's.
Yeah.
So this is real. Nods, yes. I still don't trust it. I still don't trust it.
He's basically...
Because they give him liquor and cigars, and he's holding on.
Well, the thing, he's like, they offer him a cigar, he takes all of them and holds onto it like somebody's going to take it away from him. And he is under the impression that he is going to have to fuck these guys. That's basically what he's getting around to. He's like, yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to fuck them. At least that's what it seems.
So when he gets to the house, he's like, all this stuff is mine, and he's trying to pocket stuff, and then, like, it's like, no.
At one point in time, they pull him aside, just be like, you don't have to steal it, it's yours.
You'd just be robbing yourself. He tries to play fucking Globetrotter basketball with a vase, breaks it.
Yeah.
Says, how much was that worth? They say, like
50 for... No, I think it was like
$35,000. But they
said,
they registered under insurance for 55. So see, he's already made us $15,000.
And he goes, you want me to break some more shit? No.
But in unison, Coleman and the Dukes, no. So things are going great for Billy. Lewis, not so much. Like I said, arrested. PCP, the whole thing.
Yeah.
His accounts have been frozen.
All his credit cards have to be confiscated.
Penelope's left him because he goes back to the club where there's his rival Todd. And they sing in unison. These four fucking rich white dudes do this a cappella
song
where they're including all their girlfriends' names in the song, and they're all like just the fucking richest, as white as Connecticut snow.
It's quite genius how they do this. Like, these guys are only in this one scene, but they make a hell of an impression.
Because it's a bum 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 da ba da ba. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
If it got any whiter.
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to see it. They'd be
Bing
transparent.
Crosby would fucking walk in stage left.
Boom, 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 boom.
And Billy Ray's throwing a party because he's got this new wealth.
Yeah.
And then he's slowly realizing these are all freeloaders.
Yeah.
Like,
none of these assholes want anything.
Fuck out of my house.
Yeah, like there's this one.
Even the two big guys who are going to mess with him.
Although he's treating them nicer than everyone, he's just like, nah, y'all gotta go. Yeah. He's not even telling them, like, get the fuck out. He's like, no, y'all gotta go.
Because they're
hammered anyway, and they had a good time, so they don't care. They literally were telling him, like, it's a great party on the way out, so it's all good.
Because he went to a bar and invited everybody.
Yeah.
Because I guess he goes to this bar, and they're like, where's it? Because,
well, it's a bar
he's a con man.
Yeah.
And now he comes in with a suit and a limo.
Yeah.
It's like, I told you all about my limo. And then they go outside, and Coleman's standing there with his limo. And I forgot in the 80s, limos were just town cars.
Yeah.
Like, when you think limo now, you're like, oh, Stretch, the big thing, Jeeves,
no.
pull it around the corner.
Stretch limos absolutely did exist.
But when you just say limo...
limo is a company that, like, is, like, the brand for these cars.
For these town
cars. Like,
cars.
those town cars are limousines, but they're not Stretch. Yeah. That's why they started Stretch Limousine, but somehow... over the course of time, limo became all Stretch, and
that's what I mean.
No one pays attention to the fact
because you would have to say town car.
Yeah,
but I'm sure even saying in the '80s, saying I have a town car still.
No, that absolutely was a thing. But you would also, having a limo in general, like limousine was like Bentley. It's the same. It's the company that makes it, so it's a limousine town car, a Stretch limousine, things of that nature. Yeah.
So he has no house, no money, no job. He's been fired too. Freezes all accounts. Runs into Ophelia.
Yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis' character, who's a prostitute who got busted, and she gets roped in, basically going, well, Beeks kind of, I guess, implies, like, oh, it'd be funny if you kiss this guy when his girlfriend is there.
Yeah, he's just playing a joke, like saying, kind of almost
I'll give you $100.
Like, here's $100, you talk dirty to him and kiss him and whatnot, and it'll be funny, he's my friend, I think he says.
Yeah.
So then she does it, and clearly shit don't go well.
No.
So she's pissed.
Because she's playing a role right here. She's like, oh, baby, I need a fix. He puts on an accent, I think.
Yeah.
Your friend thought it would be funny. Points to where Beaks was.
Mm-hmm.
Beaks is gone because apparently he's fucking Batman.
Mm-hmm. That's how that works.
Then they're in a limo because he's got no money. He's got nowhere to go. Yeah. She's about to take off on him.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh God, come on!"
Yeah.
And then he starts to walk towards her on his knees. Like,
yeah.
Get up, Louis!
Get up, you idiot!
And then they cross paths.
Mm-hmm.
They're in he's in his town. Billy's in his town car.
Mm-hmm.
Louis and Ophelia are in the cab, and they're like, "That's the man who stole my life!"
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about, Louis?
Like, Louis. Yeah, like, anyone says that, you're just like, okay, now you're a crazy person. Yeah. The fact that she lets him into her home is insane.
Apparently Billy's a whiz at it.
Yes.
Because he basically just boils it down to, you guys are just bookies.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're a bank, and they basically explain, no matter whether the stock goes up or down, they always win because they're the bank. Mm-hmm. It's like, so you guys are just bookies.
He's like, see, he gets it. But I love the fact when they're explaining to him, like, all their stuff that's important.
Gold and pork bellies and orange juice.
He's just like, okay, so there's coffee, which is a commodity, wheat, which they use to make bread, pork belly, which they use to make bacon. That's in a BLT. That's bacon, lettuce, tomato. And they just have Eddie Murphy just sort of look at the camera, just like looking at it going, yeah, these fucking idiots. These guys think I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then, of course, gold. And so they basically, they break it down.
What I was, okay, fine. Coffee, sure. Everyone drinks coffee. The wheat, the bacon,
frozen
pork
orange
belly.
Juice.
The frozen
concentrated orange juice.
Which becomes the main... I thought it'd be pork bellies, but it becomes the main...
Well, see, that's the thing.
Commodity
Ironically,
at the end of this film is fresh, concentrated orange juice.
Well,
was it that big in
yes.
the 80s? Was it?
Actually, I believe it was. Because I think... Now, I could be talking out of my ass, but I remember hearing something along the lines of, like... Now, I'm not saying that it's, like, huge and, like, the biggest thing in the world, but it was a big deal. Like, nobody was drinking fresh orange juice because it was cheaper to have concentrated orange juice. Right. So it became... The sales of it went really high because it was a very cheap, easy thing to get. So, now, do I think you could become a millionaire trading in stocks on it? No. But, at the same time, what they do in the end of the movie kind of makes sense, so it kind of would work.
So he gives them a tip, makes them money. Oh, kid's a whiz. Mm-hmm. Get to Ophelia's house.
Yeah.
Make yourself at home. Mm-hmm. You got to get a job, though.
Yeah.
Saying none of this is free, and then she gets naked is like everything. You have to pay for everything. So basically, just like I guess she implies, again, being a prostitute, she implies that you could sleep with me.
Yeah, you could fuck me, but it's going to cost. Yeah.
So I guess she gave him a sneak peek.
She did. It's like, do you want this? Because she sort of talks about what, like, that she does it, and she explains that, like...
Got a plan.
Yeah, she's got a plan. She's like, I've got money in T-bills, and I got this, and I've got, like, 40 grand stashed somewhere, and it's like, I figure 3 more years doing this, and then I can retire on my back. Well, yeah, I didn't want to say it that way. It's a little crass. Well... But, 3 more years on my back, and then I can retire. And he literally, that clicks into him, and he's just like, you're just a businessman. It's like, oh, this makes perfect sense to me. And then that's when she, like, strips off and is just like, yeah, no, this is going to cost you, son.
Yeah, close the door. Mm-hmm. This is where Lewis goes to the squash club. Mm-hmm. And because he looks insane. He's wearing, like, a leisure suit. He's all beat up. He's like, no, I need you back, Penelope.
And she's already moved on to Singing Boy.
Yeah, to Todd.
Todd.
I'm sure they're all the third as well.
Yes, I would assume.
I do love that it's... Why is it always the third? Because Lewis Winthorpe... It's never the first. Well, it's never the second.
It could
be... It's never the fourth.
No, I've seen the fourth before. I've seen the fourth. It's never the second just because they always use Junior, and Junior just sounds low class. Because nobody ever said... Well, they do occasionally say, like...
Especially when you get someone... Hi, my name's Junior.
Yeah. Well, that's the South for you. Because
they're creative,
and that happens. I've seen it. I've seen people named Junior. So
JR.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always the third.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the fourth is too. That's too much down the lineage line.
No, I mean they've done the fourth.
There's never been the fifth. That's just too. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I think by the time the fourth goes, like, why are we still naming ourselves Forsyth? Like, just stop.
The third. Yes. That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
He pawns off, the watch of the 80s.
Yes.
He explains to this pawn dealer, who I think is played by Bo Diddley.
It looked like it.
He explains